No, I don't train dogs. What I do is I just, help, dog trainers just grow and scale their business. I mean, I've been running ads for almost a decade now. So this is my
Wow.
passion. Yeah, yeah. So this right here is my passion. I've been running ads for, people like Mike Barron and, just online coaches and stuff. But truthfully, my passion is just helping dogs, So I got
That's
into
good.
like dog training. Yeah, yeah,
That's really neat. Well, we stumbled across you somehow. I think a cold call. Ryan gave me a cold call,
yeah. Uh-huh.
a few months ago, and he was very personable, very easy to talk to, and took a small risk, and it's been wonderful. I have nothing but good things to say about you and your group.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dale. I really do appreciate that a lot.
And if you want to use me as a reference, if they want to call anybody, please don't hesitate. Be happy to share. So
I really do appreciate that. I did see the, the what you shared on school as well. Like that does really mean a lot to me. Just because I do, one of the things that I love about my team is that everyone's in the same mission, Mike Barron calls it
mhm,
like all arrows facing into like the same direction. And that's what I like about it from like Ryan, going above and beyond and helping clients with their sales call, Jose hopping on one-on-ones.
right.
Just everyone's in the same direction, and that's one of the things that I feel like why, we're moving so fast and quickly is because like just everyone's aligned with like the mission. My goal is to try to provide as much value as possible to everyone here. That way, they have all the resources in order to succeed. That's gonna be like my goal. Um, and that's one of the things where like the inner circle, it's pretty much this, but like on steroids, just giving
I
more.
got you.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. And how long have you been in business?
35 years.
35 years. Nice. And what got you into like dog training?
I got into hunting and
Ah, okay,
was
okay.
into big running pointer field trials. We'd be on
Hmm.
horseback, and I'm a country boy and done a lot of rodeo and horses and cattle and all that stuff. And
Hmm.
so then just got to seeing dogs that needed help and continued to go down that road. And all we work with, uh, Jorge, are pretty severe behavioral issues. We
Hmm.
just basically do just work with aggression, overwhelming
Hmm.
fear, the serious, serious stuff. And I think
Hmm.
we've got dogs here from 13 states, got a dog from Italy.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and the reason I wanted you guys is, we're paying the bills and the lights stay on and all that, but we've got some really great staff. And I
Hmm.
really like to have a higher playing clientele. And I'd
Hmm.
like to be able to pay my head trainer about 250 a year. And right now
Hmm.
I can't do that given our business, but I think with your leads and us going ahead and closing them, she'll be able to do that. And she deserves it.
Nice, nice. No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And then also, Dale, I don't know if you know this, but anybody who's in your team, they also have access to the school community and can go to the masterminds.
Oh,
Anytime that we
cool.
have
God,
anytime that we have featured players, or guest speakers, like they're more than welcome to go over the trainings that we have for them. So yeah, whenever you want to add anybody, just let us know, give us their emails, and then we could just, give
wonderful. I
them.
didn't know. Yeah, I'll add
Mhm.
somebody. This young lady's my wife and I think of her almost as a daughter, and she's
Mhm.
a dynamite chick, and you guys will like her too. So she'll bring something to the table. So thanks.
Mm,
I wasn't aware of that. That's fantastic.
no, yeah, of course. Is that your head trainer that you're just talking about?
It is. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
She's been with us 5 years
Uh-huh.
and works her tail off and is really, really, really good. She's
Hmm.
definitely in the 95th, 96th percentile of skill levels.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, good stuff. You come into a new thing when I am with a salesman, right? And that's
Hmm.
that's Ryan to his core, and
Hmm.
most of the salesmen don't wear well. They
Hmm.
they start out good, and then they start out good. Ryan wears well, your company wears well, and mainly because you guys follow through. If you
Hmm.
have a 5 o'clock meeting on Tuesday and Thursday, you have it. And that's a
Hmm.
hell of a lot bigger deal than people give credit for. And
Hmm.
it's that you guys do what you say you do is really admirable. I have give you high marks.
Thank you, Dale. No, I really do appreciate that. No, you made my day, you made my weekend, Dale.
You're doing it really good.
So it's
We
like
run 80 to 100 all the time. Yeah.
80 to 100. Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So is it like, is it more like a facility or is it more like kind of
Total
like an out
facility.
total facility? Okay,
We're in
okay.
the country, but we have on 10 acres.
Uh-huh.
And well, no, it's 18 acres. And so we got cows and horses and chickens and turkeys and
Wow.
kennels and barns and kennels and
Uh-huh.
it's it's Disneyland for dogs. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, we
Eh,
have 6 training yards, we have a pond, we have an agility course, we've got all the shit we need
Uh-huh.
if we can provide fulfillment and enrichment for the dogs. So and
Hmm.
that's what we're about. We've got our process where it works,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So and we
That's
just
so
basically get dogs that are really fucked up, Jorge. That's all we
uh-huh.
really want to do
Yeah,
because that's
yeah,
our
yeah.
passion,
Hmm.
to really turn the ones around that probably aren't going to make it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's so fascinating. And this is exactly why I started Canine because like stories like these, it's I the main reason why I just want to help trainers is because that just helps more dogs getting trained, less dogs going to the animal shelter or even like euthanized. So
Right.
hearing a story like this that you're helping the ones that are like that could have gone a different route, that's very inspiring. Mhm.
Our model is about w- giving back is a big part of what we like to do. It's how we like to live our life. And karma
Hmm.
is a big deal in the way we approach things. About
Hmm.
half of our practice is working for rescues, and
Okay.
the other half is for private clients. If we can give a 501(c)(3) attractive rate for a rescue, so
Uh-huh.
it helps them. And but you wouldn't have any way to know this, but we do all the behavioral work for the Humane Society of DFW, Good Shepherd Rescue of Texas, Boston Terrier Rescue of Texas, and 4 of the 6 largest rescues in our metroplex. And the Dallas Fort Worth metroplex is about 9 million people.
Uh-huh.
So it's a big area. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
That's
that's
uh-huh.
what we do, you know.
Mhm. No,
And
that's
we
that's
love it.
that's awesome.
We love it. When do you and your brother ever get out to Dallas?
No, we definitely gotta. I would love to check out your facility, to be honest. Me and Jose were always, we were literally just talking about this. Like, it's like because he lives in California and I live all the way in Florida.
Oh, I
So
thought you were in California. Where are you in Florida?
no, I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Well,
Mhm.
good for you, man.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. In 2017. I decided to buy myself a one-way ticket to Miami and just try it out for a year. And the decision was so spontaneous that one of my buddies told me this on a Monday coming back from like speaking at an event, and then that same Friday I was already here. Like the hardest thing was just my parents because I'm a family oriented person and I just always grew up with family, so that was the hardest thing and it hit my mom really hard. But it's like I knew too that I'm just okay, if I really want to grow as a person, like I just have to get out of that and get out of that environment. Not that it was a bad environment, but I just had to do
Totally
something
understand.
different.
Yeah.
And then one year turned into 2 years, 2 years turned into 3 years. Now I'm with my wife here, and now I just have my wife and my dog. His name is Thor, and it's just it's three here. And I do go back to California a lot, like maybe anywhere from 6 to 8 times a year. Like I'm going on Wednesday.
Good.
It's my
Good.
mom's birthday in a few days. Um,
Cool.
yeah, but that's the beauty of, having the flexibility of just working from my computer is that I can just go back and forth. So I do go there a lot. But yeah, me and Jose were always talking and like, all right, where do we want to where do we want to go and just hang out and just work, you know?
Yeah.
So Dallas could be a good option.
Mi casa es su casa. So
Thank you, thank you. It'll be like the perfect middle ground
middle.
between like him and
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, we would love to have you come anytime for both you boys and the important people in your world. So there's a lot for your wife to do in this area, and so just nice to travel and show you the facility and we've learned a lot from you guys about your attention to detail on the lead generation. The
Hmm.
uh, the only other thing that you may do, and maybe I'm just not aware, this is a facet of canine conversions, is
Hmm.
a little more guidance on how to video, how we give you the videos that you use in the
Hmm.
ads, or we post on Facebook that's congruent with how you want us to be perceived. That's
Okay.
I mean, everybody uses Facebook, but as far as does this shit work or not, that's that's
Hmm.
that's kind of your gig, you know.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, okay. Yeah, one of the things that one of my biggest like projects for from now to the end of the month is just simplifying the school community. So what I mean by that, by like all the courses and all the videos that we have and all the trainings, because
Uh,
we do have trainings on, on posting on social media or the importance of that or creating video ads, but I feel like it couldn't be a little overwhelming if, just open it and we're like, oh man, this is like a lot going on. So I was brainstorming this with Jose a few weeks back where we just want to, we want to simplify everything as possible to where like, okay, this is, from when you first get onboarded until, your leads start coming in and even afterwards, like this is the roadmap and, this is the training for each of those. And for those who want that additional training, that's when we'll have like a separate, you know,
sure.
um, place to where like, okay, like, you can watch this if you want that additional training, but we're not going to necessarily add it there because then I feel like people would get overwhelmed, you know?
I
Um,
I think
mhm,
I think that's a very good insight, and
mhm,
if you ultimately want people that have established businesses, even though you start somebody new, they pay you for a
mhm,
while, and that's all cool. But if you get an established business, I mean, if you and I click right and it works, and I'm with you for years, and so
mhm,
that's the mailbox money everybody's looking for. And so
mhm,
when you do that, my biggest issue is, do I have time to do this?
mhm,
I mean, I'm pulled 18 million different ways with everything I do.
mhm.
And so
Yeah.
time is the biggest thing. So if you can simplify and make it easier, that would be very beneficial for somebody like me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would really help.
No,
More
that's mhm.
more to the point, more like, I asked Chat GPT, consider me a sixth grader and make it one page, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of a thing.
No, I hear you
So
100%.
yeah,
Mhm.
I've looked through your stuff. I like it a lot. There's a lot.
Mhm.
And that's good and bad. I have a tendency to present too much to my clients also.
Mhm.
And it's something I have to struggle with because I know this shit and I want to share it. I want to help you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, uh,
It's hard.
no, it is hard because for me it's like, oh, this trend is so valuable, and then I just add it. I'm like, oh, but this is so valuable too, so I'm just adding it. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to just keep adding and adding.
hmm
But if you were advising Jorge,
hmm
uh, you would do it differently.
hmm Yeah, and I do appreciate everything that you're telling me. So I want to get your opinion on something then. So, this is something that me and Jose have been talking about because we're always trying to improve. Make it to where, every client has their own like doc, right? And then within
Mm,
that doc, it's like that summary that I was telling you about, where like the links to click. So that way, when you're meeting with like the supervisors, or your next step and you know exactly what you need to
mm,
do or watch. Um, and that way we're both parties is being kept accountable because let's say for example Dale, your ad's about to be launched and we've got to make sure that you watch the training on how do you get the leads and how do you handle the leads. It's like when we're talking and we're like, all right, Dale, I need you to watch this video. I'm going to send you the link, but I'm going to cross it out that I just send you the video, and then at the end of the week just let me know your biggest takeaways, for example, right? That way it's you have more of a it's more summarized and more simplified, if that makes sense.
okay.
Oh.
You froze up. So yeah, we're good. So you
Okay,
were talking
perfect.
about you and your brother were talking.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, one of the things that we were brainstorming, and appreciate your feedback on this, is have like, let's say for example, you would have your own Google Doc or own document where both parties, both you and I, will keep track of exactly where you're at in the process. So let's say for example, your ads are about to be launched, and we didn't make sure that how the leads are, how are we getting the leads and how to handle the leads. So we're gonna be like, hey Dale, your ads are gonna be live in 1 week. It's important for you to watch this video. I'm gonna send you the link, but and just send me your, takeaways at the end of the week, and that way we're both parties know exactly where they're in the process, and to have like a checklist of what the next steps are. And that way we just simplify everything as possible rather than just, like have this overload of information.
Lovely idea. That appeals
Mhm.
to me immensely. Now, that
Mhm.
being said, you and I are and your brother and many of the others, we're pretty driven. So we want to
Mhm.
see this thing to the end. Many of
Mhm.
your dog trainers are pretty scattered.
I do agree with that.
so 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 for me that's perfect. For somebody
Mhm.
else, just know that that may not be the audience.
Mhm.
Like this is too much structure, man. I
Mhm.
don't need this structure, dude. I'm a dog trainer. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, trust me, we get that a lot too when we're like, hey, selling, trying to get clients from cold leads is completely different than referrals. So it takes like a different type of, training when it comes to how to handle the leads. And
Yeah,
we do get a lot of them. People are like, nah, I don't need that. I'm already a good closer. I'm like,
I'm sure you do all the time. Yeah. But I think the Google Doc is a wonderful idea.
hmm
And then I, I'm big on memorializing what's been done so I can refer back as need be. And
hmm
once I memorialize it in some shape, fashion, or form, it tends to stick better. And like I I really like talking to you today, but ultimately, if that's not beneficial to me, I don't want to do it again.
hmm
And like, but it is. I mean, you're a lovely individual to talk to. You're knowledgeable.
Appreciate
You
it.
you
Thank you.
make things think. But I
Mhm.
mean, there's just so much time in this world, man. That's where we get stuck.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
hmm
that's the biggest resource that we have to fight. I know I've said that two or three times, but it's a big deal. So
Yeah.
if you can expedite my process, besides becoming friends, that's not the
hmm
point. But if you can expedite my process and the way the Jorge Jose Ryan world works, man, that's dynamite.
hmm
So a Google Doc or just take some of this load off me and
Yeah, yeah.
just make it work. Yeah. I mean, the more you can refine that, the better.
hmm
I don't need much rah-rah,
hmm
I mean, that's cool, but
Yeah.
but
No,
but I need to work more efficiently and better. And
hmm
that might be in a way that I've not yet contemplated.
hmm
And so your team brought day train to me, Jorge, that I didn't
hmm
know anything about, and we implemented it. It's working great.
Oh, nice,
And
nice.
yeah, it came from you guys. And
hmm
one of your maybe a Jose, somebody in South Carolina or something, bearded guy. Um, gosh, what was his name? It
Oh,
was
Josh Avila?
Josh. Josh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, but he was gracious and shared with me, and it was nice. So he pointed me in the right direction, and
Oh,
I
nice.
we've done the day train, but those kind of things are really valuable, and I'm more
hmm
than happy to turn around if I can help you or whomever. What goes around comes around. We firmly believe.
hmm Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, same here. I agree
I just
100%.
got a new lead from you right now as we speak.
There we go.
Yeah,
Oh, you getting notified on your Apple Watch? Nice, nice.
yeah, yeah. So right now as we speak. So. That's good. That's four today.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So you tweaked something when we started. It was slow. You
Hmm.
tweaked my ad, and it appealed much more to the set you've been reaching.
Hmm.
So good job.
No, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's all for me. I'm a strong believer that it's all about communication when it comes to the ads because like like you're the one that's calling the leads, or you're the one that can give us feedback on certain things that tweaks that we can make. Um, but no, I appreciate all all the kind words that you said today, Dale. Like they mean the world to me, and at any time, whatever you need from me, just don't hesitate to reach out. Like we're always here. I'm always here, and whatever I can do to help you, Dale.
Well,
Hmm.
just when we get off the phone, you've got all my contact. Some point this weekend, shoot me your text information. So if I need
Okay.
to reach out to you, I can reach out. But I'm not one of these guys that bothers. So, but if I need you, I need you, and I can't ever figure out who I'm talking to on the thread. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I'll send you my personal number, and I'll just, I'll save my name. You can save it, and then whatever you need, you can just,
same.
always,
So
always
you
let
can
me know.
you don't hesitate to reach me. We're the phone's close to us 24/7. So
Okay.
it's how we roll. So
Nice, nice.
not at all. She just self-booked. So that's cool.
Right on the call.
Good
Let's
job. It's on
go.
you. It's on you. Well,
Nice.
thanks. Thanks very much.
Of
So,
course, of course. And then just one last question, because one of the things that really stood out when I saw you in the masterminds is all those books in the back, and I was just curious,
uh,
like what kind of books are they?
they're all dog training books.
All dog training books?
Everyone. Yeah. Everything's dog training or cognitive behavioral therapy, which is this what
Wow.
we do. We basically do ABA for dogs, which is applied behavioral analysis, just like you
Uh,
might teach a autistic child. So our
mhm.
learning plan for our dogs is like a therapist learning plan for an autistic child. So it's almost
Gotcha,
spot
gotcha.
on. It's almost
Uh-huh.
spot on. So we have right here, we have I just picked one out. Like,
Total Recall.
yeah, and then we've got, so the Rosetta
Gotcha.
Bone,
Which is that
you know.
one? Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so all the same. Each one of these are just dog books. So I've done everything I can to essentially have about every book on dog training that
Hmm.
I can find. And the more I can read about these people, the,
Hmm.
the hopefully the better I will get. So
Nice.
that's why we do this stuff.
Is there like a specific book that it's like your ultimate favorite one, or one that made the biggest impact in your career?
Yeah, there is, and it it's a book written in the '60s,
Uh-huh.
and it was how to train dogs in a humane way. It's not
Uh-huh.
even in print anymore. It would only matter. It wouldn't make such an impact on you, but it's the first time it opened my eyes, Jorge, to dog training does not need to be heavy-handed. And when I
Hmm.
grew up, it was very heavy-handed dog training.
Hmm.
I started before there were shot collars. I mean, there
Gotcha.
weren't even shot collars when I first started training dogs.
Uh-huh.
So if a hunting dog, they're supposed to point,
Yeah, yeah.
a pointer, and then the dog behind them is supposed to honor that point.
Uh-huh.
Okay, which means they see a dog point, they have to stop. If when that occurred, but when I grew up, the trainers I trained under, if they didn't honor, there weren't any shot collars, they shot their dog with a shotgun shell full of rock salt.
Well,
Same thing like hitting them hard with one or two electric collars. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
heavy
yeah.
handed. So this book in the '60s that I stumbled across, and it was fairly old when I read it. It said you don't have to do that. Well, and we've taken that to quite the extreme. We have two constructs we work under, Jorge, and one is from the dog's perspective, no pain, no fear, no punishment ever.
Hmm.
Ever. We don't punish the dog, we don't cause any pain, and we don't put the dog in a fearful state.
Hmm.
So and there's a lot to that. The other construct is we have to set up the environment so the construct is a way there cannot be a catastrophic occurrence. Okay.
Hmm.
So once we have those two things in place, then we do what's called constructional reinforcement training. Constructional, as in Dr. Golddiamond from Harvard, and how you bring to the table versus take away. And and we are at the point now where literally, even with these bad dogs that we get, we never say no. We set up the environment where we can always say yes. And we find
Hmm.
a way to say yes in a way the dog understands. So instead of just rewarding the dog, we're also reinforcing the dog. Because a reward is a behavioral, excuse me, is a relationship issue. Like if I reward you right now, oh man, Jorge, you're a great dude. I really like you. Fantastic guy. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. Good for relationships, right? But you don't even know what the hell to do tomorrow to get me to consistently say that again.
Hmm.
But if I say, man, I love that hat you wear, Jorge, man, that hat, man, it
Hmm.
rocks. Well,
Hmm.
tomorrow you could wear that hat and you would have a high degree of confidence I could say that again. So we have to teach our dogs the difference between, okay, this is just an I love you reward. This is talk about your behavior. So so
Okay,
once the
okay.
dog understands the construct that behavior is different than the other situation, then we start to shape it. And
Hmm.
we work on a reactive cognitive curve. And when the dog's in cognition, they're able to make choices. And I give a shit if they make good or bad choices when we first start, just as long as they're choosing. I'll shape
Hmm.
the behavior where they make choices we deem appropriate. But our job is to keep them cognitive so they're not reactive and have their genetic drive override any cognition. So
Hmm.
that's what we do.
That is so fascinating. That is
Yeah.
that is so fascinating. That is so cool.
You see, there every time I get started, it's real passionate about that. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
No, that is awesome. Thank you. No, I appreciate your sharing. Yeah, I saw all those books and I was just curious. I had a feeling it was like dog training, but I don't know if it was dog training, business, self development, or
it's
because
all dog. Everyone is dog training, and you're only seeing about a third of them. Yeah,
wow. Uh-huh.
yeah. So
All those books out there.
yeah, yeah. So so you see all of them there. So and
Hmm.
hopefully, knock wood, if a client sees this on the Zoom call we have, they, without even thinking, they'll hopefully think I know something because I have books behind me. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we, all of that would be good for, so for like video ads, meaning that like, you have this big facility, you can just send us the videos, we can help with creating that ad for you. Because one of the things right now that we're we have someone in the team that helps with like create video ads, right? But they
Yeah,
also help with the ads. Now what we want to do is we want to open up um like a new position to where this person's only job is, to get as many videos as possible, even if it's just, just showcasing certain things, and then have him work their magic and create a beautiful ad off of that. So it's like I feel like with
perfect.
you that would benefit you because now you get to showcase, all the books, you get to showcase, all the, you said 80 dogs they have right now. It's like,
Hmm.
it's just like 80 dogs that
Yeah,
you have. And like that alone, it's like that goes a long way when it comes to running these ads because now it's, we're adding more reality to the ad
mhm.
because now the people are seeing like in real time or like, that in itself is just a case study of how great and you are at what you do and how you have, dogs from literally across the sea. And I think that
Yeah,
would be super, super beneficial as well.
yeah.
Mm.
That makes a lot of sense, and I would like to do something like that. But again, the reason nothing like that's been done, Jorge, is eh, the learning curve is steep, and I'm just not willing to put
Mhm.
it in. And I've
Mhm.
not known anybody that I trusted enough to take it and run with it. So you
Mhm.
guys have, you've proven yourselves well. So look forward to working in the future.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get with my team and then we're gonna brainstorm with that because yeah, that's something that we 100% have to take advantage. Like Taylor from like the masterminds.
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. So him it was funny because we were just kind of storming with ideas, and he's like, "Yeah, I got files of dogs that we've helped in the past." And I'm like, "Bro, we got to use that as an ad, you know?" And it's
Yeah.
and he just got the whole files, and then he's like, "Bam, these are." He's like, I forgot what he said, but it's like, "These is just only a fraction of the dogs that we've been able to help." And he just opens up the file, and it's just like this big thing. So just like that, like just it just brings so much reality to
Yeah.
the ad, you know? Mhm.
Nicely said. Yeah, you have a great uh, I see that you cut right through all the extraneous information, the BS. You have a good way of, I guess it's the decade you've been doing it, but you've got a good way of getting down to what seems to be important, refining it, and then presenting it. So
Mhm.
instead of just talking this stuff, you're getting it done. So
Mhm.
man, kudos to you and Canine Conversions because I think you're, if I understand correctly, you're pretty much the driving force. So I think
Mhm.
you're driving in the right lane, buddy.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot, Dale. No, it really does mean a lot.
Yeah.
Like
So well
you
done.
seriously made my day, made my whole weekend. I'm stoked. Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, we're here for you, and we'll keep rolling on our end. And my biggest problem is I've got so damn many leads I can't keep up with them. I mean,
That's a good problem
that's
to
just
have.
it is. But I'm
Hmm.
OCD enough; it pisses me off that I can't get to everybody.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
hear you on
but it's
that.
just the way it is.
Hmm. That is funny. No, it's that's definitely a good problem to have. But whatever we can do to help you with all that stuff, just let
Yeah.
us know.
Thanks.
We're more than happy to help.
Yeah. Just keep us in your kind thoughts. We're here to
Always.
help. We're here to assist, and thank you. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for what you've done for me, and the kindness and professionalism of all your staff. It's been good. Tell your brother I enjoyed talking to him. Look
Okay.
forward to speaking with him more. And Ryan, he's a crazy man.
He is crazy. Oh man, Dale.
All
No,
right,
thank you so much. I will definitely let Jose know. I'll definitely let the team know, and I do appreciate your
please do.
time.
Catch you
Yeah.
next time, buddy.
All right, Dale. Thank you very much. Have a great
Bye
one.
bye.
Bye bye.